What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Still enjoying the after effects of a victory, the first victory of the season. And I'm sure we will talk a little bit more about it tonight when I stream. Going live at about 7 o'clock. Hope to see you guys there. But this video, I want to talk about a couple of different numbers and kind of try to illustrate why, in order to really understand something in a sport as complex as football, you have to take many different data points and try to put them all together rather than just focusing on one, because I found this to be really interesting and illustrative of kind of the thing that I was talking about last week when talking about the pass rush. I think I made the video on Saturday talking about the complicated nature of the Seahawks pass rush so far. So let's go through it. First, please click the thumbs up button, subscribe. Click the bell, become a channel member, $2 a month. Those are the best ways to support. Got a new video going live on the Bleacher Report as well. Go check that out. Okay, so yesterday afternoon, there was this tweet right here from Ben Fennell. A lot of you guys have probably already seen it because it did kind of go viral. It ended up kind of blowing up. It got 250,000 views as of me making this video. So let's take a look here at what he has to say. Seahawks lead the NFL after 2 games. And this didn't count anything that happened last night, but I seriously doubt those 2 games would have changed this. Seahawks lead the NFL with a 49.4 pressure rate via next-gen stats. So according to NGS, the Seahawks lead the NFL in pressure rate, and they generate pressure on basically half of the opposing dropbacks. And the thing about this, and this is why I think that on some level, you could say that the Seahawks pass rush has been a little bit on a leash, is Seattle is only using 4-man rush, or only using 4 men on their rushes a huge majority of the time. They're using 4-man rushes 83.1% of the time. So on a vast majority of their defensive snaps where the opposing team throws, they are only rushing 4 guys. And they are blitzing at a rate that is only rivaled by the Bengals in terms of how paltry it is. They are blitzing at a 31st in the league rate of 13%. So without really unleashing, they are still getting pressure. And I think there are a couple things to take away from that. I think first you have to understand context. You think about the first 2 games that the Seahawks have played, a lower blitz rate does make some sense. The first game, they were unable to get San Fran in obvious passing situations because the game was close, and they weren't able to force 2nd and long, 3rd and long type situations. It was always like, oh, it's 3rd down, but it's 3rd and 2. They could still run the ball. You can't really go crazy here. So we didn't see a lot of the blitzing. And by the way, you can blitz a non-conventional player and still only have it be a 4-man rush. That's the thing to understand here. Like, a blitz is considered a play where you're rushing more than 4 guys. Now, you could have a play where Leonard Williams drops back into coverage and Devin Witherspoon comes in on the blitz, and it's not a blitz because you're still only rushing 4 guys. You just swapped out one guy for another guy. So I'm not saying that Mike McDonald isn't cooking stuff up. He absolutely is. You can look at and see how often these non-down lineman players are rushing to see that, but it's not coming as a blitz. Let's take 60 seconds. Before we go any further into this video, I want to tell you a little bit about my friends over at Sleeper. Have you heard about the app, the Sleeper app? Download it. I'm going to let you in on a little something now. It's more than just a platform for fantasy leagues. Yes, this year, millions of users enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but there is so much more to this app. There are live stats, real-time updates, and visualizations on all stats. News feed is lightning fast. You get updates on your favorite players and teams. There is a chat you can use in real time to engage with other users about plays and performances. All kinds of fun stuff like that over there. So download the Sleeper app, the #1 sports app today. Experience it yourself. Use promo code SBN to get a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. SBN promo code. Back to the video. All right, welcome back. So understand what this means. This is not meant to imply that he's only rushing his front four and there's no creativity here. There is absolutely creativity here, but he's not really letting it off the chain. We're not seeing a lot of like 5-man, 6-man, 7-man pressures. It's creativity with the 4 men you send, but it's still 4 men. And in the case of the Pittsburgh game, Aaron Rodgers is not the guy you want to blitz anyway, right? You don't want to be sending a lot of exotic stuff at Rodgers because he's the ultimate NFL veteran. He's seen everything. You're not going to trick him. I am sure that when this team plays quarterbacks like Spencer Rattler coming up here, and even a guy like CJ Stroud, who haven't seen everything, who are younger players, you're going to see a little bit more of a bag get thrown at these guys, and he's going to unleash a little bit. But I think the first thing you say is McDonald isn't even really going all out yet. And there is more that can be accomplished here with the exotic wizardry of a Mike McDonald combined with this group that is able to generate pressure even without it. Because again, literally the highest pressure rate in football, mostly sending 4-man rushes. Now, there's another layer to this as well, and Nemhauser had a tweet, I think this was yesterday as well, talking about some overall team grades on PFF, which is actually, I think, a pretty interesting thing that I don't really talk about on this channel very much. It's something I should probably look at a little bit more. Now, I'm not saying that everything that he tweeted here is accurate to reality. I'm not saying I agree with Pro Football Focus on everything here, but the thing that I wanted to highlight here is if you go down to the defense, they have our pass rush at 18th in the league. So not even average. They think that there are more teams in the NFL with a better, more effective pass rush than the Seahawks, than there are that the Seahawks are better than, despite this pressure rate, and also despite PFF giving us credit for a lot of pressures. Now, if you've been paying attention to the videos I've made talking about the pass rush over the last week, you probably already suspect why. It's because, quite simply, they're not getting quick pressure. I made that video on Saturday, and I think it still applies to that Sunday game. The Seahawks had 3 sacks in that game. All of them took at least 4 seconds to go from snap to sack. So there is still a lack of quick pressure on this defense. And that is the thing that is really holding them back. That is why you're going to see some sites, some people say the Seahawks are not doing a good job rushing the quarterback. And I don't agree with a lot of stuff here. I don't think we have a top 5 run blocking unit right now. Not at all. I don't think our pass protection is this far behind our run blocking. I don't think that we have the 5th best offense in football. I don't think we have the 16th best defense in football. Like, a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense to me. I'll say that right now. I do think our tackling's pretty bad, though, so I agree with at least a lot of this. And while I don't know if our pass rush is actually 18th in the league or not, it might be. And it's all because of the lack of quick pressure. Now, what generates quick pressure? What is going to get quick pressure most of the time in the NFL? Because there aren't that many guys out there that can generate quick pressure when they're actually squared up on by a blocker. I think the answer is pretty clear. The best way to get quick pressure is quite often to blitz. You blitz, you can get free rushers, you can get unblocked guys, you can overload a blocking scheme. It throws something at an opposing blocking scheme that they may not be able to handle just on the face of it, on the front of it. So it kind of makes sense why this might be happening. You're seeing a really high pressure rate because we do have some dogs in the middle, some guys that can win their rep. Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, Jaron Reed, throw him in there as well. These edge rushers are able to grind down on opposing offensive linemen and eventually get in there for the pressure. So we are seeing some of these things. We are getting some degree of production from those guys, even if it takes a while. But it's hard for those guys to get in and win immediately because if a blocker gets on them, 2.5 seconds goes by really quickly. And 2.5 seconds is about how long you have to get a quick pressure. But what can get a quick pressure is blitzing. So as the season goes on, as he gets more of his guys in there, as he gets a level of comfort and trust with his crew, and as he starts to get games against quarterbacks that are not unblitzable, or he gets into game situations where the blitz is something that can be utilized, you're going to see better numbers. So I think that's kind of the takeaway here. That would be my read right now. So rest assured, the pass rush is good, but in order to make it great, in order to make it push for maybe best in the league, or at least close, we're going to have to give this a little bit of time. And it's going to require a little more blitzing, but I think it's there for us, people. I do. All right, more videos later. Again, streaming tonight. Check out Bleacher Report. See you guys soon. Go Hawks. Everybody have a great day.